Hello, Doomslayers. It is I, Tradespotting, with my trusty cup of tea. Thank you for all waiting for me. It's very much appreciated, and I'm 170 something viewers. Wow, is that correct? I don't know. Maybe it's 120. Let me zoom in, make it not tiny. Oh my goodness gracious me. I'm so lucky to have you all joining me here as we approach the power hour. a power hour. YouTube tells me there's only 140. That's a different number. And there's only 127 likes, so some of yous are holding out. Oh, 145 and 132 likes. 143 and 136 likes. Ha! Oof, look at that. We nearly caught up with likes and viewers. There's only 3 people that are being pretty stingy, precocious 3. Oh, now it's up, and our viewers have gone down, and our likes have gone up, and we're in a positive balance. There you go. Get it up, you Max Payne. What game that was? Right. Shall we do some TA? Oh, prices do exactly what we say, so we could tell them to do something. It's getting like that. It's getting to that stage. It'd be good to see all of these little clips that people make. They're so funny. Or I say, this is what price is going to do, and then somebody clips that with their own chart and has the price do it. And it's funny watching them. They're good. Especially when I get see so many messages about TA doesn't work and it's like sound. I'll just watch this video. Yes, can everybody hear me? Looks like the microphone's working and everything. How is everybody? More likes than viewers. Lucky me. APC Darian, our local librarian. Thank you very much. You lovely chap, you. Katie, your pre-market stream likes was a brisk business, Tradespotting. Your pre-market brackets. brackets. I don't understand anything. Great t-shirt, Tradespotting. Thanks very much, Hates Jones. Can you see all of it? Is all of it making it on? Oh. That's what I do when my boobies are really jacked. I just start doing that, lifting me off the seat. Oh, and what a comfortable seat it is to not be upgrading that next time YouTube pay me, for goodness sake. Nearly got no ass left. Tradespotting. Your left axis is out of view. Left axis? Well, I've got my prices on my right axis. Left axis looks like it's out of view, but really what you're saying there is what's going on the left hand side of your chart, and it's just more of the same, buddy. More of the same. Everything's perfectly okay. No worries about axes. On the left here, right? On the left here, you can see that we've got Fibonacci levels, and these Fibonaccis, all of them, measure the retracement against the uptrend, right? That means like they're drawn from the lows to the highs, and they measure the retracements against the trend. Yo, lucky fiver from Daniel. Sorry for the breaking. I was trying to rescue the sock puppet and give it a good home. Daniel, I don't think you look that. I think you look a lot healthier than these two robbers. I think you look a lot healthier. I've not seen you up close as I did with these two new acquaintances of mine, but I'm sure you look more healthy than they do, Daniel. I certainly hope so. If not, really, you got to start eating some vegetables. But haha, Stock Puppet is still under my detention. Thanks very much, Daniel. What else have I got missed here, actually, as it happens now that I am looking at that thing there, that thing there is Alex Park subscribed 35 minutes ago. Brad subscribed 1 hour ago. Jacob Campbell as well. And Chris Henry. Thanks very much for those new. And ZJ 2 hours ago. I'm a new member. Chimp. Oh, wow. Swanks. Thanks, ZJ, if you're here now, or see you later. I haven't seen your name necessarily, but I haven't read all the messages in chat. Right. Cool. Yeah, so what was I saying, right? Well, I'm not making a TA clip or any of that yet. If I got my thing, what does my thing look like on screen? Oh, it's right, I need to change that. That's what's like. My time axis is out. Isn't it, chat? How do I get that back? I'll have to, my tickers, everyone likes the tickers. I nearly left it without the tickers down there. That would have been stupid. Am I stupid? Wish I can bring them back though, just like that. Just like that, just like that. Boom. GME 173.08 on the left. Shall I do like a long-term clip for like the weeks ahead or something? Or shall I just make all of this really good, valuable information? I mean, what do people want me to do? Do you just want that? What do you want? What do people want? How can I do? What should I do to make it best for people? I should just make it TA, like really good, fill it up with as much TA as possible, and then make a market close clip, and then the video itself is useful, but I've talked so much shit already that some people will tune out. Right, well this is the live stream, and during it I'll make now a clip for like a longer term outlook on GME, and then we'll chat, and then we'll do like market close type TA, and I'll make a clip of that. Okay, and I could also cover AMC maybe in bits. Like, right, I meant to give D Harker's bro a shout out today, but I forgot. Fifth sifs. Shout out D Harker and fam. Your bro. Shout out to D Harker's bro. Your D Harker. Your to D Harker's bro, who I don't know. D Harker himself is such a sound bloke. He's such a nice guy. Lucky you have such a lovely brother. I know what it's like. It's cool. TA on VIX if you have time. Merrick! Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, right? I'll tell you what I'll do right now, because somebody has now asked for TA on VIX. I'll maybe give like the background on why people are interested on seeing the TA on the VIX from what my point of view, and perhaps touch on why I haven't talked much yet about August expiries, and how until today I didn't really talk much about July 16th expiries. Yeah, I could do that. I could touch on that stuff. I want a heist at last, you fannies. At last. Right, people are winning too many of these. I'm going to have to make it harder, obviously. We'll pass it on, Rich. Good man, D. Lip Tank donated $5. Stream number 100, yeah? Congrats. Oh, yes, that's right. This is 100. Wow. This is video 100. I think it's entire of all my uploads of ever. This is 100th stream. Duh, we made it to 100. That's like, wow, thanks for reminding me, Lepton. That's a big achievement, it feels like, personally. So I'm glad to be here, having done that. Yeah, that's a good one. Under the belt. And I've done a lot. I've not missed a day since I said I'd be doing the videos every day, even if they haven't been all day every day. I've done a video every day, so I've not missed. Never broke the chain. Everything's going good. And it's all thanks to you guys, really. You know, you keep showing up for me, so I'll keep showing up for you. I'll keep showing up anyway, right? It'd probably be a long lag on if you stopped showing up for me. I'd probably still be here hoping you'd all come back for a while. But thanks everybody for making it possible to do 100 videos. 100 videos, amazing. You know, and there's always been some content worth, there's been some value in every one of them. Some of them packed with value. I never really did anything with low effort things. You know, even this, what we're about to do today. You know, I've done the TA already. Like, you know, the video we made the other day in the pre-market stuff, right? There was hours of work went into that. You know, obviously filming it was quite natural and we just filmed it. But before then you have to do the DD and writing it up and like, it takes time. And, yes, why am I talking about that? Oh yes, so like I don't do anything low effort. So like, oh wow, look, another donation. Eric Sanders, 669. Rocket Crop. Yes, the man who inspired me to be here in the first place and helped me kept me going. Rocky Outcrop, my bro, the best TA streamer there is. And I'm so lucky to be in his little band of band of brothers. The renegades, really. Renegades of stocks. 4x combo. Nice one, Streamlabs. You're handing out combos now. Ooh, Tradespotting, August 13th, says Stefan F. Stefan S says, right, you want to know what the chat is, right, and why I don't talk about options expiries in the way that everybody wants me to and that, right? Like, because I've got a lot of experience of seeing what happens to people who trade options, and that I can see the paths that people go down and how difficult it is to divert them away from danger. So, and I feel very, very responsible this side of the camera, talking now especially to so many people sometimes. Don't know how many it is right at the minute, but I know the price of GME is $172. I feel really responsible, and it's very dangerous. People trade options in very dangerous ways. They spend too much money, they buy contracts that expire far too soon, they have very little experience, they rarely understand the tools behind them, and they're quite often are also very vulnerable people. And I say that, I mean not necessarily vulnerable in general, but those type of people who are drawn to this type of trading and that type of instrument are often also, well, they might seem outwardly, very sociable, they might be fantastic and looking, right? They might seem the life and soul of the party, but the people who are drawn to doing that are also very vulnerable psychologically to the damage it can do to your account and to your psyche, right? It's very, so as somebody on this side of the camera, and having seen it up in more times than I want to remember, I find it very a level of responsibility when talking about trading options, right? So there's one piece of information about me which you can then build all of what go on to learn about me on top of, right? Such as this thing I'm about to say now, right? Everybody's out to fuck you. Everybody's out to fuck you. The people who fuck you the most are really, really good at it. They're brilliant at it. There are algorithms, but they don't control the price. They know how to fuck you, and that's what they're programmed to do. There are strategies. They're programmed to fuck you, and that's what they do. The largest liquidity providers don't just fuck you by presenting by trading synthetic shares. They do it by using your own psychology against you. And I'm motivated to do these things partly to pierce this web of disinformation and this way that people will try to control your thoughts in order to control your actions. I'm here to pierce through all of that bollocks, and one of the things I'll do to that, right, to pierce that bollocks, is tell you exactly how they fuck you. They tempt you into out of the money, deep out of the way out of the money calls, right, on stocks like GME. They can see that the industry volatility is of whatever average. They can see that stocks like GME have an implied volatility that was way higher, and they know that there's a volatility corridor, an element of volatility risk that can be traded. That is the difference between the implied volatility and the reality at the end of the day. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you should be on Rocky's Discord, in the options trading room, learning with Frostcrest and everybody else who are on a path to, my Lord Frostcrest, who are on a path to help thousands of people along with themselves, empower themselves, and develop a really high degree of financial literacy in a fun way with each other, community spirited, all learning together in a really good environment where you've got people who'll direct you away from dangers. Nobody's trying to take a penny off you, right? It's not about that. Rocky runs that place, and it's currently free to join, but he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets 10,000 subscribers, and then at that point, he'll be able to join. But he's only got a limited number of people he's letting join until such times as when he gets it's going paid. And so, but it's all entirely free, and the money that is there is only to then reward everyone who's putting effort into building this community, right? And it's obviously good value. It's not me. If it was me, it'd be unreasonable as fuck, right? And that would be, I would think that even in paying that unreasonable fee, that itself would be teaching you a lesson. And I think it's worth more than that. Rocky's got a different approach to things. So, like, I'd urge you to take advantage of it. Now, the way they fuck you, right, is they take all of that enthusiasm that goes with these stocks. They hype up events that aren't real through shills that are strategically placed in our communities, right? Never anyone ever call me a fucking shill, right? They do that, right? And some of them, you'll never know who they are, right? You'll never know who they are long after the event. You'll never know. And some of them, they'll be the people you trust the most. And they'll have been put there on purpose, and they know how to do this, and they're very good at it. They'll hype up things that aren't real and get you not necessarily just emotionally fatigued and then terrible at trading. They'll also tempt you into this strategy of buying really long out of the money calls, which are expiring really far too soon. And then they'll counter trade you. They'll counter trade you by trading the volatility. They'll take a straddle trade, which will neutralize their position with any damage to it regards to which way the price goes, right? That will, if you take a proper straddle trade, it doesn't matter, right? You don't care which way the price goes. That's the point, right? You make money even if the price goes down. The more it moves, the better. But you've already got a straddle, so that you make money from the volatility as opposed to the price moves. They use those to fuck you, right? That's what they do. You want to trade options, you take their strategies, you use them against them. That's what you do, right? You want to learn more about that, join Rocky's Discord. The short way is you either also use a straddle, right? And I've talked about this before a number of times. And I've said you should be buying, if you are buying option contracts, those that are further out the money, the better, right? And if you're buying them within a week, you're a fucking idiot. If you're buying them within a couple of weeks, you're equally stupid. You buy them within a couple of months, maybe, right? Maybe we'll talk normally to each other at that point. You take straddles, or you take like Condor. You make sure you make money regardless of what happens. That's how you trade options. You don't think that you're going to YOLO trade with options on leverage, with options that are like, well, these ones I can afford to get lots of and they'll make me incredibly rich, right? That's this strangely degenerate mindset that everyone seems to adopt when they arrive in this arena, which is totally unnecessary and not helpful for you, right? And so when that happens, you can imagine that there's now these people that are trading against you, these huge institutions who know every move you make because they can see on the payment for order flow. Don't just screw you with synthetic shorts, which is like a get out clause when things go wrong, and things are going wrong for them, so they're trying it as hard as they can. But the first instance that's gone wrong is they've played it all wrong on GameStop, and they're stuck regardless of synthetic shorts. It's having an effect regardless if the market makers are owned by Citadel and doing their bidding. It's still having an effect on them, right? Now, this gamma squeeze that lots of people have talked about, right? Now, stuff happens, but the ideal version of it certainly never did. And I'm not going to ever start pushing that idea, nor do I necessarily want to push the idea of the MOAS. I'll tell you, this is going up. It's going to be the biggest company in the world if we stick together. And the information I present here is for you to change your life with financial literacy and this singular investment that could and may well turn you into the most wealthy individual you know. And all of these things can happen at the same time. And therefore, if one of them doesn't, you've still got loads of good shit going on in your life, right? And it's coming here for free all the time, every day. And I can prove that the shit I does works, right? In fact, I don't need to. I've already done it plenty of times. And anyone who cares to investigate has loads of evidence for you, right? It's because I tell what way the price is going to go to, and then the prices go there, right? It's not because I'm in charge of GME. It's not because I've got the biggest account in the market. It's because I can do technical analysis and it works. So why would you want to do TA on the VIX? Well, you might want to short the VIX. You might want to say, well, the people are anticipating moves that aren't going to happen across the industry. You might be using it as a hedge against the long. You might be taking a long call spread on GME, and you might be hedging your bets with some sort of short on VIX. There might be loads of different things you're doing. Now, I'm not giving anybody advice, particularly the last 30 seconds of what I've said, but there are implications for that on the option chain, because the market makers, they need to stay neutral. You know what a market maker is? You don't, right? A lot of people don't, and they say stupid ass stuff, and then the greater community at large then absorb this osmosis stupidity, right? And can't find the truth for themselves, because the go-to places for it are full of either other degens who aren't interested in helping you, or Investopedia, which is written like, it's like Wikipedia with people in there deliberately trying to trick you, or idiots trying to make themselves look smart, which never ends well. So it's difficult, right? It is. And now, I'm not saying that all this information that I know isn't available on the internet. Quite possibly is, and it may well be free. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like people understand it all that well. So this is it, right? There's implications on the option chain, because market makers need to have neutral positions, and that weighs down prices as well as pushing up prices at different times, and there has to be a rebalance in those market makers themselves, totally regardless of synthetic shorts. Hey GME, I was the one who posted the video on our Tradespotting proving your legendness. Thanks LV4 Custom, I appreciate it a lot. I liked it a lot, watched it a few times and chuckled to myself. It was brilliant. And I saw another one later on where somebody was like, no, it wasn't a video, it was just people chatting about it in other places saying he called this so much. And it's way good, so good, right? Because it's not me that it's boosted by, it's the content, which is what I focus on. And that content is to help empower you. So you can take me or leave me. That's not the point. There are messages here that are so valuable, right? And that I know this channel is going to do well, because nobody tells you this. No, in fact, they'd rather you didn't know it. That's the truth, right? And it's not some great conspiracy. The stuff I tell you, generally at large, the people would prefer I didn't, because, and same with Rocky, because it's great using his DMI making money. It's great, right? It's great using the TD sequential and GME and adding to your position perfectly well, and like doing it at the right times and reducing your risks so much. It's great doing all these things. And nobody wants to share that information with you. So if they do, they put it behind some sort of paywall, or they make it really difficult for you, and they make themselves look smart by not telling you and stuff. Where you never get that shite with me, right? You'll never get it. It's a completely different brand, right? It's me trying to be your mate. That's what it is. And that's another reason why I don't talk about option expiries that have got like really tempting things on the go. And one of them is to play the trade with the 16th of July's expiry dates today, because I'm obligated here for people who are buying and holding GME. I'm not going to advertise that alongside the sell signal and the TD sequential and tell people how to paper pan this thing. No, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you the bullish case. I'm going to tell you both sides of the trade. Everyone knows I said these areas that we're at before. Everyone that cares to listen. And we know what we're doing, right? So I don't need to put shit out there that like makes it easy for people to compartmentalize and digest how to paper hand this to the downside. So don't ever call me a fucking shill, right? This is not to the choir. This is to those people who happen to catch on this and are still undecided, right? You, my friend, will never be convinced and get the fuck out of my garden, right? You and everyone else like you. 171.15. Thanks so much, L4G, for custom. Everyone does that sort of stuff. You legends. Tradespotting. Hey, I'm missing the point of the whole August 13th thing as a date of significance. I felt like you were explaining it, but then got sidetracked a tad. So there's like, in order to market makers need to hold neutral positions. They can anticipate swings in volatility the same way much of my technical analysis does. They can do the same thing, right? The good ones obviously do it, right? As good as me. Well, I've got new members. Thanks so much. Who is it? Ixitapala Pacchetti. Extapala Pacchetti. No, it's Ranchpala Pacchetti? Is that right? How do you say it? Raspala. I don't know how you say that. Sorry, mate. Raspala Pacchetti. I'll just call you Pacchetti, please. Juro, oof. I've shared you on Superstock. Thanks very much, Andrew Elliott. That's really appreciated. Tradespotting, just call me IX. Okay, cool. IX. Nice. So, Ix and everybody, yes, I want to keep everybody safe, so I don't want to put information out there that tempts people into making stupid-ass decisions. This is the truth, right? This is the bottom line. This is what makes me hesitant to say things that could cause harm, right? That's the whole idea here, right? And so, what are the implications of things? The implications of things are careful with the price action coming down on July 26th. That was that. Put in a understandable and hopefully way that'll keep everybody calm when it happens. And then at the same time, putting information out there to tell people not to worry, like when they panic about going beyond like this tolerance level on a cup with handle or you're reaching this level, whatever, right? Putting the right information out at the right time so that everybody knows things at the right time, which is in everybody's best interest. That's all it is. Now, it's not... seems like I'm now in some position of like I'm in the Swan Station control and stuff or whatever, right? No, that isn't it either. I don't invent this stuff. I just tell you what it tells me. And that isn't about me, it's about the content, right? And now that's it. And now I've got, so that's that, right? Now, August the 13th, right? Sometimes if you're trying to, you need to adopt a mutual position, there'll be these times in the calendar where you really need like a little valve there to release things. And that is what August the 13th is. That is a little release valve. It's a risk management mechanism. These option contracts themselves written at the CBOE, the market makers that manage their positions are beholden to one entity to a degree of monopoly which disincentivizes competition, and that has manifestations on the option chain. One of them is today. The other one's August the 13th. The two of them are inherently linked. Depending on where prices close today, August the 13th will have various implications. Not only is there a really low open interest on that date, it's a really unattractive contract. Doesn't it look to be? And after close, we can talk about it some more. Rocky Outcrop, I'm lucky to be learning from the best. I see him here. I was lucky to be learning from him, Rocky. And we're all lucky to learn together. What a group of apes we are. Yay! Dragon Slayer, Rocky Outcrop, what is up with July 26th? What price action is Jamie talking about? No, it's July 16th and August 13th. KT, just found my bookmark link to the tea room, and that is the place, eh? It worked! Ho ho ho. Mentioned doing super stand and got 500 arrows up. Super stand? Doing a super stand. Let's do a super stand. Mr. WN, Mr. Win. Nice. Welcome to Chimp, Mr. Win. Thanks very much for joining us. It's lovely to have somebody of your how will we describe Mr. Win's success? So good that he's named after it, or it's maybe named after him. Welcome, Mr. Win, Mr. Galactic. Why do I feel like Jamie is about to offer us the red pill or the blue pill? Hey, look, it's like not a pill, it's like a shower, right? Yeah. I also joined your r/Tradespotting. Yeah, cool. It's like, I mean, it's called r/Tradespotting, but I really don't feel like it's mine. It's definitely just a way for the community to express themselves and be who they are, and it's got a different slant on it from other ones. Right now, I get messages there as well a lot. Right, this is another thing I probably don't want to talk about too much because it gives a completely wrong impression, right? But yes, sure, there's shit happening in other places. Those other places were never about the people who run them, just like this isn't about me, and neither is that place that we talked about before, r/Tradespotting. Not about me, even though it's called after me. I understand that, but Like you see the first post I ever put on there, right? It's not about me, it's about helping people, and that's all it's ever been, right? That and memes. And there's one mod, and it's me, and there's no drama. Or there's one rule, right? Don't be a fanny, and like that's it. And essentially, there is a mod. It's like everybody else because you can vote on things and say like report posts and whatever. And if loads of people do, then I see like, oh well, people don't like it, and then I delete it. I don't even give a flying shit what it is, and that to a certain degree, unless it's like obviously not like just totally cool and it's some nonsense, then I'll just get rid of it. I don't really care. And now it's not like hey, come and join Tradespotting. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's there if you want to, obviously, but my general point is don't worry about this stuff that goes on, right? The overall tone in the messages that I get sent are people worry about what's a better way to describe it? I don't know a better way to describe it, but the dignity of the movement, like, and how that's associations are linked to like whether we're all idiots or not, and a degree of embarrassment on behalf of other people when these bad things happen, right? Now, that's the overriding feeling that I get from the messages, not separating from all of the like what people think are or aren't facts. I don't give a shit about screenshots of X, Y, and Z, right? And so yeah, so it's about the content, isn't it? So and what is that, right? It's about the people. It's about the people, and whatever you want to ever say about any of the people that do it or run any of these communities or not, right? The ones who contribute with content must be respected, and Autobit is over at Superstonk, right? Regardless of whatever else is happening, and look at the content he's put out, right? There's an argument to be made that nobody would be here, right? A lot of people wouldn't be here if he wasn't here. So it's always about like the content these people are putting out. Look at that, right? Just fucking, it doesn't matter what you think of the guy. Look at that. Truth one, not a lot of people know that Antifa actually stands for anti-fanny. Yeah, what was I talking about there? Can't remember. Let me try and remember. Yeah, so there's no problem, right? Like, don't worry about this stuff happening. It isn't about how our communities are seen by other people. Other people can fuck off, right? Like, all of them, you know. And if you agree, click the like button. Because I've got 445 viewers and 288 likes, it tells me. That's disproportionate. Yeah, so like, not about the people that run these places. Who gives a flying fuck anyway, right? Now, if you give a flying fuck about me, you're probably also making a mistake. It isn't about the people, right? It isn't about the person. It's about the content. And if you judge the content and it's good, then great, fantastic. And people saying things like, oh, this and that and about me, right? I've said this so many times, and it's like, not a joke, right? I'm not your leader. I'm no one's leader. You're your own hero. We all are on this, right? So what the hallmark of what we're doing is that we're all our own hero. This is the journey we're on. That's why I talk about it as the greatest story ever told, because it's your story. It's yours. You're the protagonist. You're the hero. And like, nobody's going to make me a leader of anything, this or anything else, right? If you nominate me, I step aside. If elected, I resign, right? I'm not the leader. You're the leader. And this and everything. So if one community moves to another place, who gives a flying shit, right? If it splits in 8 places, hey, that's 8 new places. Nobody gives a shit, right? There is no good or bad about that dynamic of what might happen or may not happen there. Nobody actually really cares. It's the content, and it'll keep coming. No matter what, it'll keep coming. And it'll be everywhere. And this, what we've seen sometimes to be like a migration or whatever, right? You choose your word. Like, some people think of it as like a destructive process. Other people think of it as some sort of growth. Like, who cares, right? The point is, my point about it is, it's not a bad thing inherently to have lateral flow, you know, and for us all to close ranks and to be seen as we are, right? It doesn't have to be in one place to be one movement, right? This is how we win, is by being everywhere, you know, everywhere. We like, and if they split us into lots and lots and lots of places everywhere, then we are, right? We've still got one message: buy and hold. Yo. So that's that chat, right? That's the answer to all the stuff that I felt like I really ought to have covered. Anyway, what time is it? Cool, we could make a wee clip and do the TA now. I'll do that. Yo. How do I make clips again? Rocky, you making tea? Oh, no. Then I can't have a cup of tea. Oh, thanks. Cheers. Thanks. You don't have to. Oh, he is doing. He is doing. Thanks, Rocky. Oh, Rocky, people are talking to you in chat outside of the 10 usage limit. What do I need to do to stay in your Discord? To stay in it? I don't know. What does Leptin... Oh, right. It was a while ago, that chat. Why am my chat not catching up then? Oh, I see that. Cheers. Well, maybe I'm way behind in loads of questions. Sorry if I am. Anyway, right, yeah, so like it seems like every day. Tradespotting, how the fuck is Citadel going to hide 40 million shares that they no longer have control of now that the 400k options expiring out of the money? Well, I mean, it hasn't expired out of the money yet, all of them. Well, yeah, you're right, they're going to. They're going to. How are they going to hide 40 million shares? The short contracts that account for more than half of the company in total. Never mind how much of it float. How are they going to do that? Yes, how are they going to do that? Maybe August the 13th got something to do with that. Let's see. There's lots of new rules out too, so let's see. I mean, it all depends, right? I want to see how today finishes, and then I can talk more about August the 13th. That's always been what I've said. Even everything I've said before market close today about it has been a compromise on what I decided initially to do, so we'll see how things go. Right, Rocket Crop, I'm fairly new to Tradespotting. What did he say? I said stuff, like mumbled lots of different things. Mumbled them, and then they came true. That's what happened, right? And then I said, like, the only person that you should ever listen to is yourself. And then that message resonated with people. Oh, wow. Yeah. Thanks. What a lovely cup of tea. Thanks. Trying to say hello to people. I have to get right in there. Hello, everybody. Thanks, Rocky. That's Rocky brought me tea and then he waved to you guys. What a nice guy he is, huh? Gracing us with his presence. 169.72. You gonna head off then, huh? Gonna hit the road then, huh? Yee. Thank you for subscribing, Ryan Wrigglesworth. Wiggles and Wriggles and Wiggles Insider. Cheers, Mr. Ryan Lipton. Katie and everybody chatting. Okay, cool, everybody's happy. Oh, I love it when I see you being good brothers to each other. Yay! He's a great brother. I'm a lucky guy. Hello, Rocky. Is Rocky spotting the catalyst we needed to mow ass? What kind of tea is that? The best kind. Scottish blend. What the fuck? That scared me. It's okay, Mr. James. Everything's okay again. What do you put in your tea, Tradespotting? Actually, I put top secret ingredient in order to stabilize all my particles, which I need to do, having come through the space-time continuum as I did to get here. So there's a special ingredient in my tea. Welcome to the family, Drew. Welcome to the family, Ryan. And brother love. Yay. Observe thyself. What have I become? Doomslayer. 170.00. Pum pum pum. If you had to change your name, what would you change it to, Tradespotting? I changed it to Jamie Curran. Oh, look, Rocky with the camera. Oh my god, it wasn't even on. What's the screen doing way out there? That was a photo. Do you get the light? Well, I suppose you've got this light. Why would you need any other light? Catch you later. Don't let your camera get robbed. There's thieves in that abound. There's vagabonds abound. Aye. Careful, anyone in a purple jacket. Cool. See you, Rich. There's Rocky. My here. Watch him as he goes. Thoughts on sweet tea from the US? Dunno, mate. Is it as good as Scottish tea? Pff, hard pressed to say it would be. Like Scottish blend's incredible. Yeah. Remember we did TA on Bar and other Scottish brands. They all looked like they were going to freaking go to the moon. That was awesome. Go Scotland. Anyway, I wish more people that were Scottish knew about me. Anyway, whatever. Whoops. I don't know, you're moving that guy. So we do some TAs, right? Because that's what actually helps people. Why am I talking to you like that? Why am I talking to you like that? Sorry, that sounded dead patronising. It wasn't you, it was me I was actually talking to. When I say those things, I'm actually talking to myself, which is again silly because I shouldn't be self-critical like that. Right, Detroit, right. Oh, it'd be good. It's probably good with some techno background, wouldn't it? It looks like it already. I think it's reminding me of going out. Why can I not go out anywhere yet? Because there's a pandemic. 169.74. If we started at 169.69, it'd look good. I'll do the clip right now anyway. Hi, I'm Tradespotting. No, I'm Jamie. This is Tradespotting. If this is your first time here, where have you been? Right, probably out listening to people that tell you TA doesn't work and other nonsense like that. Right, so the TA that does work, here we go. We're on the weekly time frame. Well, that's appropriate because the weekly chart candle will be closing soon, Jamie. Yes, that's exactly why we're here. It's also a good place to start. So we came in, we touched this low here, it's 236 on this Fibonacci over here, it's a different one over here, up day 618, oh looks good, 236 over here, it's a terrible clip, let's start again properly. And then people are going to take me seriously, especially after me saying we need to have some sort of, if people were concerned about our dignity as a movement, and I do have a tendency to tell people to go fuck themselves, so like, not necessarily like, I'm like Portia from Merchant of Venice, do as I say, not as I do. Plus, I'm no one's leader, right? Like I say that so that I have the ability to be myself, which is more helpful anyway, because everybody else wants to be themselves. That's what they want to be. That's what they should want to be, not some other fucking fanny. Right. TA. Do the clip, Jamie. Hi, I'm Jamie. This is Tradespot, and we do TA. This is mostly on GME because it's going to fuck the hedgies. It's the way to rule the world, right? No, that's not what I'm going to say because it starts with a swear word. Can't do that, right? Can't do that. Because it's you work with what's in front of you, Jamie. Okay, let's start it like this the last time. Welcome to Tradespotting. This is a technical analysis for GME. On the weekly time frame, you can come see here that we've come into this white line, touched it. What is it? You can also see that on the background here we have these other lines that all seem to be pointing up. That's nice. This is a pitchfork. We formed this pitchfork from our ultimate low here, or the low before this move, to our ultimate high, our all-time high. And in that pitchfork, we have a channel. We have a number of them. Those which I use and find to be important are Fibonacci levels, specifically 0.5, 618, and 236. As you can see, they're well defined on these backgrounds. They're all nice colour of green. But the background isn't important. It's where the lines are that matter. On the log chart, or on the weekly time frame, you can see we've also come down and touched this here. This is what you could see when I opened it up there and showed you the colours of things. It was 618, right? And you put two of them either side of the centre line. 0.5 is that centre line. Here, 618s, and that, and two of them either side. And you've got a median line all right in the very middle. And then within this pitchfork, you can expect to see various levels tested depending on those which are really relevant to this asset. And here you've got the wick to the body, basically essentially tells you that the 236 and 618 are relevant. You can see that the price action here defined the centre line is relevant, and you can see here that we come in and touch this again, right? Here, again, touch this, right? Now, I've said many times that the Fibonacci's to pay attention to on this are 236, 618, and that's not uncommon. It's just very, very good here, which is really strange too. There's this narrative that TA doesn't work on meme stonks, because my experience, it works very well. And the top levels that you'd be looking at in and of this thing, is there anything jumping out at you? Right, well, let's keep it simple, right? We came up here into the top of this green band, came down here into this bit of it, particularly this yellow part of it, right? And then this yellow part of it, and then, where are you going to go next, right? Maybe this yellow part of the top one. That's your TA for that weekly time frame, right? But while, like, it's not just, like, I'm serious, this is good work here, right? On the left here, you can see our Fibonacci's that are measuring the moves upwards, right? They're the retracement against that trend, right? They're measured from left to right, from low to highs, and lows to highs. This one takes our July 2020, I think it is, to our January, February high. And then this next Fibonacci here comes from our February lows up to the March highs. And then our final one, well, most obvious one before this one. This is a Fibonacci time-based, but this is a Fibonacci extension, which I'll get to in a second. And this one here measures the move within this cup with handle type formation, which is actually like an ascending triangle, which you can see with this white line going across, and this, you can see a little bit underneath here with these wicks and body closes all coming in at that upward sloping line, right? It's the weekly chart, so it counts. It's an ascending triangle, right? It's going to probably break upwards. It's got a little while to go before it does that sort of thing, you know, a few weeks before it breaks really crazy, probably. But it may front run it. And anyway, and the point is, like, this is a bounce area, and that for a bounce area for loads of different reasons, which if you haven't been following me along, then you won't know a lot of them, and you really should have been, because I'm not going over it, right? I'm not going over it again. The videos are out there, especially one on Rocky Outcrop's channel that was put up yesterday morning, called The Best and the Most Important DD We've Done So Far, right? Watch that video. If you don't buy GME, don't ever come back and crying to me. That's all the information you need. And it's really pertinent right now. So this is the weekly time frame. I can't be bothered by any more time there. Go down to the, let's say, the daily time frame. You can see gain here right on that 618. Looks like an uptrend to me with a higher low. Higher high. If this is a low, it's a higher low. At the same time as that happening, you've got tick on the DMI. And you've got huge amounts of bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, at which all you need to do to get that is to retrace above the 236 on the downward move there on that Fibonacci. Now, so I've described the Fibonaccis on the left, and now I'll talk about these Fibonaccis that straddle price action on the right. And you can see that where do the 236 come in out of this little move here, right? Well, as we're moving chronologically left to right, I'll describe these Fibonaccis. These ones here, these Fibonaccis, they go from top to bottom, right? So they measure that retracement, which takes us back to the top side again, the strength of that retracement. And what's interesting to see is, does it mirror the 236 retracements here? Are they mirrored with 618 and 236 retracements on this side of the chart? And here's your 236 coming in here. It's also mirrored over on the left here. Right now it's a very good area for us to bounce from. There's also the 618 here coming through on our pitchfork. And on top of all of those things, there's a buy signal and the TD sequential and the daily time frame that came in, and everybody who watched it will have been able to see that move and buy their average down their position, use position management to improve their overall risk and their exposure. They can then manage that position however the fuck they want, because it's their money and nobody's going to tell them how to trade. They know how to take control of their life, and if that's you, fucking congratulations. And where do you need to do? What do you need to do for this hidden bullish divergence to be initiated for a move that'll right? What do you need? Right, well, you need to get above the 236 on this pullback here, and we measure that with going from this high to this low down here, left to right. That's this pullback. We're looking to see that come above the 236, and that's the most recent move. So it's like the furthest to the right of these Fibonacci's. Here's your 236. It's the first white line that you'll see in the chart above price action, and it comes in at around $184, $185, right? No, wait a minute. Which Fibonacci is that? Let's get it up. Yeah, that's that one from there to here. Yeah, that was all correct. Phew, thank goodness. And we're still in daily time frame. We'll talk about these other Fibonacci's, right? This again, right? This is why they're here, is because they present us with levels on the way up. I think there's going to be a big move. I think when we capture this 236 Fibonacci level, which is at, like I say, like we call it $195 to be 100% sure you're definitely above all of that, because there's also the golden pocket here on that move of this other Fibonacci over here, which we'll talk about in a second. But we call it above that level. Once you open and close 4 hours up there, you're looking up to the 618 of that same fib, which comes in here where this white line is around $260, and that may be a dollar and a bit more, right? It's a zone, as I say. So I'm going to get it onto the cent. That part's just luck, and the harder I practice, the luckier I get. So yeah, so these Fibonacci's, this one also comes in here. You can see what Fibonacci is this. This is the ultimate retracement down from our January high down to our February lows. That's this first Fibonacci you can see here. If we recover the 618, having only never even touched this 0.5, you do that, fantastic, right? It's really, really bullish. This next Fibonacci you can see here, that measures the move inside from that March high down to the month low at the end of the month. This is the next Fibonacci, and about being on the 236, sort of retracing only to there is another reason why prices are likely to bounce from here. 169.89, and we've got 29 minutes of the market still to go today and this week in regular trading hours. So you want to recover that area, right? And you want to that 236 there, we came down to the 236 below. It's perfectly natural, right? It's also on this 618, and talked about this plenty of times already in this clip. So getting above it, there's various other areas you want to beat, and those are marked out with definitively important areas with these Fibonacci's, and I've also chosen those ones a while ago, but you can see that they also match with your horizontal levels of support and resistance. Now that's not a coincidence, right? It's because technical analysis works, right? So why do people say it doesn't? Are they just doing it wrong? Because this part of it's the easy part, right? So this part's the easy part. It's the years of experience you get from using it afterwards. It's the difficult bit. So why are they saying that? Shit day, boys. Hodl, please. I'm tired of working 12-hour shifts. I'm sick and tired of my boss, and you're probably sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, Gaston. Please don't sell to break even. Shit, what would that be like? Don't sell at break even. Don't sell at 100, at 1000k. Just hodl for me and hodl for your brothers and sisters. Thank you, Tradespotting. Thank you, Gaston. $10 too. Wow, you're a generous chap. That is putting a good message out there in the world, aren't you? I would say so. I'd say that's a really good message, and that's what everyone else is also hopefully hoping and relying on each other doing. And that if we all rely on each other in that way, rather than oblige each other, but then instead rely on each other, then it'll take us to the end, right? And that comes from apes together strong, right? That's because we do it for each other, and we rely on each other. We rely on each other. We're relying on each other. I show up for you, you show up for me, same sort of thing, right? It's all symbiotic here. And so, yes, what was I talking about? There's these levels above it. It's supposed to be a clip. Sorry if I'm getting distracted for people that are watching this for the reasons that I made it. So, what price targets are we talking about in that sense? Well, let's drop down through the timelines and cover them. Onto the 4 hour, you can see loads of that hidden bullish divergence. If we turn around from here, recovering the 236 on this Fibonacci here, getting up above 185, 190, let's call it, that's definitely doing that. Above there, you're looking at quick moves. Those quick moves take you up around 250. And then above then, you're looking for opening closes. There'll be congestion around 274, 276, 277, but then up above that, really what you're looking at is a move up around 335, 343. That sort of zone. And why is that sort of zone important? Well, one, it defeats the Wyckoff distribution, which you can see on a point and figure chart if you haven't seen that before. Looks like this, right? This is the area you need to break. Essentially, it comes in at 343, and you want to do it on a weekly time frame. The open and close of a weekly candlestick above 343 is what you're looking at from that side of things. Right now, that's your point and figure chart, and that's what defeats the Wyckoff distribution, which is really the final nail in the coffin for anybody who's going short. Was it this chart I was using before? Who knows? Yeah. That actually looked quite good, and it was gain catching things, but we're not going to be on that. And we're not going to point and figure chart either. We're going to stick with this one. Shall we look at this for a second? We could look at this for a second. We'll wait for a second. No, we're on this. We're doing this. Right, I meant to go to 4 hour. Part of me, I really should be snappier with this and better. I know it's for busy people and didn't want to make the stream last too long. It's supposed to be that. So how long's left in this? 24 minutes. Maybe I should do this stream again. I don't know, right? Is what it is. So you're looking to cover the 618, looking to cover the 236 on the other side of things. So these are the other levels above you where things will be like touching, and like if they make it above it, it's important. That's not to say they'll necessarily slow down there. It just once it's above it, it means something. And those levels are 193 to 195, or that thereabouts, 202 or thereabouts, and then there is a level for other reasons that are important, because this Fibonacci of this move may prove to be important in at around 215, 216, right? I'd like to see us close 4 hours open above 217. That would be good. It may well be that that's something we have to do, but in and of itself, it's not as important as all these other levels. So these ones are here to do 205, like top of that level, and then 230, right? Open and close above 230. Right, that's going to be so good, right? I'm going to be so happy for so many of you when that happens, and it's going to happen. And then yeah, 270, that sort of thing, yeah, whatever. Right, at that point, it doesn't matter. It's all about getting 343. When you do that, boom! Everybody that's on the other side of this trade, get the fuck out of my garden, guys. And really, that's all the TA that anybody actually like. Most people will be satisfied with that. Most people, just from a like, what's going on sort of perspective. And if we drop down, we'll see it in 15 minutes and say, well, what's going to happen at the end of today? Well, not much price action. Not much price action has happened. Opened, filled the gap, as Rocky had said earlier. There was that gap. Wick wasn't filled, actually filled. Came up high today around 179, 180 in between. And then let's see this. Taking it from this low on this wick, because it's the low is the wick here. And if you've ever seen me draw Fibonacci's, like I go from wicks, because wicks happened, like the reality. You can talk about candle body closes, but market traders brought prices to those levels, whereas this is where price came to traders at these wicks. So, and price action is king, right? So that's where you go when you go wick to wick. On this one, we come back, drop below the 236, down to the 50% at the minute. Could go as it has itself. Actually forgot to talk about that Fibonacci extension and why the targets were up above there on the other time frame. Anyway, I may go back to that at the end. Hope you have a better day, Gaston. And sorry I had a shit day. Thanks for that message earlier. Yeah, so you might get a touch in the 0.5. It might go a little bit further to 618 or the 6.5. That's the golden pocket. And would I be surprised about that? No, not at all. Right? That's so what happens in these sort of things. It would also start putting be confirmation of this area, which it's a gap. Prices moved up beyond it. That makes it a thing, right? It's a point of interest. We then come down, fill the gap, and bounce again. That turns it into support, and then you retest support. That's a positive characteristic of price action when it does that on the charts. If it retests this area, it doesn't necessarily need to have divergence at the time, but it can bounce. Likely it is a buy, right? It is a buy, so likely it does. And then it's about what does it do afterwards, right? Testing this previous high of this trend. Is it going to do it by the end of today? How long have you got left? 20 minutes. It's a Friday. It's Friday, yeah. I predict prices from here close around 175, but we'll see. Alright, 175, Jimmy. Well, yeah. Let's see this. So there's a body here, 175.37. A little wick touch up there would be good. At least I expect us to get back to the 236. It's just when you're there at that little level above it. That's what I'm hoping for. So something around there, a test of around there, that'd be excellent. That'd be excellent for price action as well. And sure, I'm saying that when prices are down here, I'm saying they could also go way down there and still do this, right? This is annoying, right? There are all these freaking mini levels that are going to be a thing as well. And price action could easily come back down and around these levels. If it does, it changes these congestion zones on the way back up. Do I expect it to go through them? Yeah, definitely. This is the start of a new trend. It's indicated by so much of these things. This accumulate here above the bearish control zone. That'd be very positive. I would expect this price action to not go much further should that happen. If it does go any further, it'll start putting in bullish divergence. Some of this trend is showing itself here. Like, this is like a little bit of a, hey, we're here to fight you. That's what this is showing on the RSI and DMI. Like, there's a cross there between the AD, the DI minus and the DI plus down to the bottom side, but at the same time as that's happening, it's only really a reflection of the weakening momentum at this part on this small time frame, where it got up to around 38 level, touched back down around the center line. That's sort of, or not center line, but the top of that zone. That's very common, right? So it could be that this goes a wee bit further. There's also a trend line on the RSI across here that could start forming. Let's see that back actually on hourly. What's that look like? Yeah, that's good here. It's very like this recovery right out above it overall. Touch it again, just a bigger version of that. Let's see where that takes us. Right, that was very natural. That retracement here is all perfectly natural. This is going to get put up any time between here and 166, 165, right? And I promise I won't cry with emotions when it starts happening, right? And then after that, it'll recover up back right at 236, and I've got to look at see if it gets to there now. Actually, there's this 236 on the way, so we're looking for anything, any turnaround above 165, and we're looking for anything around 171, and a really good showing. Really good showing would be something around 175. And do I think we can get to around 175? Yeah. Why do it? Right, minute. Well, that's maybe a good time. What time's left? 43. Let's go over here. So we've done the technical analysis, right? We've done that side of it, the charting side of things. That chart, anyway. These call options, they expire in the money at 175. These ones, they expire in the money at 170. Right, so that seems to make sense with everything we've just been talking about. Then you can see that more plainly here, right? These are the poor people losing money. These are the poor people losing money. Open interest at 179.90, 14,000, 148,000, pardon me. $175.90. Nice. This looks like very tempting for price action. So yeah, I mean, you're going to wait around to buying it there? Pff, a lot of people won't, right? There's only 20 minutes left, or how long? 16 minutes left. That's all there is, really. And that's and then that anchor, we can cut that anchor loose, regardless of who wins the liquidity grab. It's an anchor we've cut loose. It's no longer weighing on price action. Sure, the people who win will come back, but those people, those if it's us or the apes that lose, they're not going anywhere, right? So it's about Cosmic Lightning Warrior Legend. It's all about oh yeah, look, people are already buying it. Nice one, above the 0.5. Good to see. It's all about getting that off our necks, right? That stupid ass open interest figure there that we just touched on, right? That we just touched on. Where is it here? Like this stupid ass open interest figure at this price, right? It's really annoying. Once that's gone, things change. The picture changes considerably, especially if we finish above there. So we'll do it. Is it going there, right? It's like it could get just to it, 174.33, right? 174.33, but 175.71. What's this? Is it 90? You know, and it's like the centimos matter at this stage. I mean, you know, Let's see what happens. Be really interesting. Really, really interesting. If prices, which I think they will do, get before the close of today, get to 17423, and they do it with like a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, even more, a couple of minutes left. This is going to be interesting. Certainly, I find it interesting. So, what's this candle doing, right? Oh, people say that's bearish engulfing 1, 2. Nope, it's broken there. That hammer, right? Cool, fair enough. The move's removing that. Maybe took it a bit further. Obviously, you're going to go one of the fibs. That's fine. And you got your divergence catching up. You got this. Not really a thing. Let's see. Weakening both negative slopes. That's not really a thing. 4 hour, check that. Okay, normal. This candle. I think it's normal with the wicks on either side of that you might come down and test the bottom, or like the open of this candle again. That's normal. Common, typical, pardon me. Yeah, typical. Haven't gone beyond it to a fib again. That's typical. This 4 hour hasn't closed on this one yet, so that negative slope's not necessarily. That's reaccumulating above. Pressure control zone. 1 hour, same deal. Same deal. Okay, it's sloped up. That trend come there, right? Yeah, they're going to touch, and that's going to go up. Okay, yeah, so this is going to go up. What do we see? This, what is this? 15 minutes, 11:49. What's going to happen with this candle? It's going to go up and test this area, 170.99. Yeah. No, that doesn't sound like a very big price difference, though. Aye, it doesn't. But it's like, well, then that price is gone, eh? Do you want it or not? And then you're looking at those prices I said earlier. I don't even know if I need to talk now that I've done it, right? Well, this is what I'll do, right? I'll go back and show you what's something interesting. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching the TA. This is Mumble TA, as presented by Tradespotting. Right, I think one of the most interesting things about this is the period of time where this chart turned into like working out all the signals all the time. Everything's going exactly the way Tradespotting says it'll go, right? I think that is interesting, right? And looking back over my own TA and thinking about how things have evolved and how, you know, this is the degree of success that I've had with my technical analysis on GME is higher than my is more robust than what I would rely on, generally speaking, in across my own trading. It's been higher right now. I find it intriguing. Why is that so much? Lost so much money today on calls. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, damn it. What was I talking about there? Sugar, I've just forgotten. What was I just saying? Oh, something interesting about this. Mumble TA from Tradespotting. Was the Mumble TA was something interesting I was going to talk about. Oh, the definitive nature, right? Like, there's loads of things changed from this here to this here. Our whole company changed. Sorry to hear that, Luke. Let's see what we can do about that, right? Well, that's the long and the short of what I'm trying to say here is that this is a new company. It's also a new chart, and there's some things that are similar about it, right? It's obviously going to get bought here. It's a new company, but it was still following this uptrend, and other people that were driving price action knew it was a new company back in and around these levels, right? They're the people that are pushing this up. They are the people we rely on and know about. There's no secret who they are at this stage. At this point, their traders took control of this thing, and they started moving it in particular way. Now, people say this algorithm's keeping the price doing X, Y, and Z and that. And I'm like, fair enough, right? It may prove to be later true that that's the way it is, but it isn't at the minute. And if you're out there trying to push some algorithm talking about how it's causing the price to go down, it matches with Citadel and it's doing it like X, Y, and Z. And in the next breath, you give any credence to the idea that technical analysis doesn't work, then I'll be forced to bring my technical analysis to your doorstep and measure it against your algorithm, and I know who'll win. So like, just don't start that shit with me, right? Instead, like, put your good work to use by combining it with this good work, right? That's what you should be doing. That, just explain that to people is fucking stupid. Up here you've got this Fibonacci that started dominating price action, right? This 618 on here, it's important in at around 195 bucks. This 236 in here, it's important in at around 275 bucks. And other oscillators have started putting in divergence, and price action may have gone over and above those areas at various times, but when it's done it, there's always been some counter momentum signal given off. So really this is the horizontal channel that things have been like defining themselves in. The market participants who are controlling price action are leaving their own signature, even those ones that are on our side, despite all the manipulation against us. You can see it, right? It's here. And it's measured in this, most ideally with this 618 retracements on this Fibonacci style pitchfork. It's going to, if it goes up, right, this channel, this top, it's been touched 3 times, right? That makes it a real thing. And so there you've got like that line, that horizontal line, and when it's broken, that'll be it, right? That is it. Right, that is it. And it comes in at around 343, and I've said so many times why that number is important. And coming up for like the 19th, 20th, next week in July, this is a whole phase change in the market. If you've watched that video that I was talking about on Rocky's channel, the most important DD we put out so far, then you'll know why I'm talking about this big phase change. You'll understand that we've made new all-time highs in each of the previous 2 phases that we've been identifying here, and how things are likely to go. We've also said how we moved from the 382 VIB zone into here, right? We've moved into it. How things will likely be mirroring in the past. Now I say mirroring because the past is a prologue, but if anyone comes at you and starts talking about fractals, tell them, get the fuck out of your garden, right? Save yourself years of looking in rabbit holes that will give you no answers, that will only confuse you. There is no reason, right? You want to ask why nature does what nature does. Piss off and ask that question somewhere else, not in the trading arena, right? Get out of my face. If you want to use fractals and geometric means, you're wasting your time. Racer X, the legend, Rex Racer. When I first saw your name in Rocky's chat, I was just like, Rex Racer, rolls off my tongue so much. And then since then, I've always thought of you in such a nice way, and you've been such an amazing dude, and you always pop up with incredibly generous donations. And I'm like, holy goodness, what a legend. This channel is entirely too reasonable for closing time on a Friday. I know, closing time, right? I would like some sort of party at these times, but hey, well, maybe later, but maybe tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Best thing on the interwebs. Yo, thanks, Harriet. What was I talking about again? Can't remember. I'm always getting distracted in this. I'm in a conscious flow rather than anything I plan to say necessarily. Oh, anyway, right, yeah, so what I was going to say, that these people have told us what they're going to do, right? And do you want me to tell you what they've told me, right? They've told me that the prices are going to go up here. They're going to go to 979, then they're going to go to 1,000 and around 1,090. So there you go, right? GME's going to $1,000. And that's not MOAS stuff, that's just this chart. It's just what these market participants are pushing the price to here. I'm not saying when it's going to happen. Though it's likely to be after the 20th of July. And that's all I'm going to say at the minute, right? But that's where they're putting the price to, right? And look at this thing. You think that's like a big deal right now? Seriously, look at this thing. This, right? This is the next few years of GME when you take MOAS out of things, right? Any retracements, any recoveries, anything you might want to think about because of who we are and who GME is, this is what it's going to be doing. You can see here, right? The charts haven't got it right, but there's 20, 20, 30. You're looking at 5 figures, right? 5 figures per share GME. That's what it'll be at. I don't give a shit about dilutions. I don't give a shit about stock splits. It doesn't matter. It's going to be at $10,000. It doesn't matter. It's going to be there, okay? I've told you now, right? That's what it's going to be there, right? Now, it's got shit all to do with any MOAS. That's what's going to happen. This is going to be the biggest company in the world. That's going to happen, right? The dividend that you'll get paid on owning those shares that you've bought at these ridiculously cheap prices because there's some idiot out here harming the market, giving you bargains because they can't accept that the bell has tolled. fair play, I wouldn't accept it either, but that just means that we have to absolutely obliterate them. So fair enough, right? That's what that's for. These are the levels that are important. When you break them, you're going up to the top of this thing, right? And that's going to be the next whoop, right? And it's going to be up there close to, like very high, 4 figures, very high. So that's all going to happen, right? And that's something interesting. I thought I'd probably share with people because technical analysis says it's going to happen. So there you go. There's that. That's probably useful. Is this still a clip? It is. That's because markets haven't closed, right? Well, is it a TA for busy people? I don't know, right? Is it worth a clip, or should I just put the whole thing out there? It's not all that shorter. Maybe I should make a clip now in the last, 4 minutes? Nah, that's stupid. No one wants 4 minutes of me showing off. 169.39. Oh, it'd be good if prices didn't move now, because I was hoping that we'd have a little optimistic Friday ending. But the last 4 minutes as well, it's been happening recently. So, you've seen enough of those drawings now, think, right? I think you have. 5 minutes. This is the last 5-minute candle. Bing. Go on, you boy. So, yes, it's been a tough week for lots of people. It has been a tough week for lots of people. There will be lots of more tough weeks to come. This is by no means have we won anything, right? The fight, in fact, is closer to our door than we ever really wanted to see it again. But we knew that it was possible. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. Yes, now as it bounces, Tradespotting. Now as it bounces, well, we'll see. We'll see. It's already done its mini bounce. We'll see what everybody decides, right? This is it, really. You're looking at next week. You've got a lot of post-market, pre-market activity where you can't get involved, where things could ultimately will have changed. This anchor will be off our necks, and if you want to buy it, your only chance to buy it is now, most likely, unless you're one of a very few group of people who are actually trading it post-market, in which case, why would you want to do that? Liquidity so low, it's just a straight up stupid move. This is the time to buy this thing if you want it before Monday open, and who knows what you're going to get at Monday open, right? Who knows? I could predict it depending on what happens now, afterwards, to a degree. I'll try, but this is it. Just you know yourself, like you've got a clock and whatnot. Clip while it jumps to Tradespotting. But I can't make it jump though. Is this a clip? I think I've recorded, right? Yeah. So if this is a useful clip, then it's something to put out there. But really, like the buggers that they are at 175 spot 90. That's like a big jump there. So it's not much time left down for that. Not at all. So I'm not expecting it anymore. Tradespotting, can you please comment on the significance of the 400,000 options expiring today on the big picture? Well, essentially, it just means that those positions, many of them will be part of market makers balancing their books. So when I say balancing the books, going neutral in their positions, and some of that expires means it's an anchor off our necks. It means that prices are free to float up much easier. It also means that the risk corridor for people trading this changes, and it becomes more of a bullish play for lots of people. Tradespotting, I was hoping to make it happen through sheer force of will. Haha. Well, yes, this is difficult. You shouldn't ever test your own force of will against the markets that way, because you're only ever tempted to do it at times where you feel like you need to, and in those occasions you're only ever going to be disappointed. And your own force of your will is a better barometer of that, is to see, well, can I be stoic in the face of price action, to understand my emotions, but at the same time see what's going on, not have them affect my practical decisions. And in that sense, it is good to be sharing these moments with you, even if price action doesn't do something crazy. And when I say crazy, I mean not really move much. So this is coming up for what, now is that closed, is it? 169.04. Should be closed, right? Is it closed? What does it tell me here? Doesn't say market open, does it? Post market says that, so it must be closed. At close. Okay, it's got it at close, 169.04. Up 1.33% on the day. These guys are in the money. These guys in the money. These guys in the money. These guys in the money. There is no huge implications of it. Max Greenwell upgraded membership to Spider Monkey. Holy McJugers. Now that is a sign of real support. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. To have the inclination to go down there and click that button and upgrade your membership and do that for me without any prompting is so nice of you, Max. Thanks so much. Thank you for that expression of support as well as the actual support. It's really appreciated, Max. Thank you so much. Stonky Kong points. Roll to 46, huh? Nice rolls. How do you get roll to 46? What's this dice all about? Right, so you've got this here and you can see these are these people right there trading these out as money, put calls at $800. Consistently doing that. Here's the market makers often balancing these positions out because they need to go neutral, having written this contract for these people. They then need to balance it out. The large investment banks, the big brokers, like they trade against you, right? They trade against your position. Most brokers trade against you, the client's positions. The market makers themselves are neutral on everything. And then huge liquidity providers use these risk corridors to take your money off you, and they do it by tempting you into things that they can then exploit your psychology even better when they've tempted you into an asset that behaves in the way they want it to. And they trade the risk, the volatility risk, which is the difference between the implied volatility and the realized volatility at the end of the contract. But what it was there in retrospect, it's always like with meme stocks, there's opportunities there for people to push you around, and they do it. And they take advantage of your psychology, but you can use those same strategies yourself. You can use like corridors, you can use straddles, you can play your options so that you will never lose money regardless of the way the price goes, and you can do that by playing the volatility rather than the price. You can take that money you make and you can put it into the shares, and that's how you cause this mystical gamma squeeze, not exclusively through calls. But if you are going to only be doing call options, then think about long call spreads. And if you want to know more about how to trade options, when you're in the Discord, learn along with Frostcrest, and I'll jump in more, especially when Rocky puts links it to his Patreon at some point. At that point, I'll be making sure to add as much value as possible to everybody who's using it, because I really want it to be a success. So I'll be making sure that it's good value in every possible way. So this is this, that is that, and that's the technical analysis. What do I think is going to happen for August the 13th? Now, well, those guys that had that, they don't necessarily need to worry so much about August the 13th. The pressure gauge that they needed is now less. That risk management strategy that it would complement is now less necessary for some of them, but not enough of them. It'll still persist in being looking like bad value. Ties in very well to those people who are trying to exploit you. Trade and short-term options plays into their hands well. So does a move up at this point. So July, what's the next expiry? The one that'll matter. We've got 4 then. Green doesn't show up enough. Yellow's everywhere for other reasons. Red looks bad. Suppose orange, right? It's orange. That's the real reason, right? After this, this is what they're hoping now. This is obviously what they're hoping for in around August the 13th, that we don't make it above here. The same way they kept the prices down here, mostly below 200 all week, because they were scared out of their wits what would happen if their play went wrong. And they'll have spent money making that happen, and at the same amount they'll have made back managing to get it here. So they're still going. They've not won anything though. They've lost a bit, and that, so they'll also be playing this here. And that's 4 weeks away. They're going to be crapping it, right? It's not that hard, you know. The charts say that sure, right? There'll be this is what they're going to try and sell you on, right? How do I make this not so? There we go. This is what they're going to try and sell you on, right? This. Will Victim Slayer. Here's a pint for you and Rocky. Relax and listen to some Reynaldo later. PSA. Don't mess with our boys. Yes! Wilfric, I love you, mate. Thanks so much. That's big donation to $24.99. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Wilfric. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you, Max, for upgrading. Right, so what we're talking about here, I was going to do I was talking about this, yes. So they're going to try and sell you on this, right? But this will come after a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern. This will come after a back of so much enthusiasm. This will come after the fact that everybody's talked about Bing Bong. The volatility's gone here. It's going to go crazy there. That'll take the edge off it once it gets back up there, and there will be a bit of like ooh ah. But by August 13th, mate, like we could have done a lot more by then. Daniel Assange, $10. So I only sell calls and try to just get $1 per share. I've noticed that it's not even getting close to the strike price. Am I being too timid? Should I get some cojones? No, now I advise to be very careful now, right? Like advised in that I think that your strategy and as it was shouldn't be adjusted right now, and that you're right to be playing it with a degree of caution, Daniel, because the volatility has increased, although the prices have moved down, and if it goes back up again, well, that's more of the same, and that'll affect like that, right? You just want to go long Vega, right? That's what I'm thinking here, right? You want to go long Vega. You work that out, how you're going to do it, the way you're going to do it, the thing that suits you, what suits your balance, what suits your risk profile. Well, you fucking do what anyone can do whatever they want, right? You can do whatever you want, but I think you'd probably thank me if we were talking this time in a few months' time, and you had said, well, Jimmy, and you said go long Vega. I looked into what that meant. I looked into that area in Discord. And me and the lads and me and the ladies, we cleaned up. Tradespotting, is there a drinking stream tonight? No, there won't be one tonight, Corey, I'm afraid. There won't be one tonight. Maybe try that. I'll see if Rocky wants to do one tomorrow, but there's so much stuff we've got to do and get on with, mostly with regards to picnic. I don't know if we can really take the time off to do that, because then the next day you're also delayed, and it's our only 2 days, or Saturday and Sunday, to catch up with stuff. So we'll see what Rocky feels like. Maybe if we could, but I don't know. Maybe the time off that we do have, we'll probably more likely spend it with our dad and see him, and in the sunshine we'll get a chance. Don't know if we'll do it. I'd like to. Coming after my 6 spot, huh? So did I make a clip that was worthwhile? I don't think I did. I don't know. It's not that long a video. If people who want to watch it Friday, they've got all weekend to do it. Maybe I'll do something over the weekend. No, I did say I was going to make a clip for people, and it would be for busy people. Nah, damn it, I did promise that. But then putting out a video that's just mostly this video's content feels like just trying to cringe ad money or something, which might do if there was any decent anything on offer, right? Maybe I would, but there isn't, and I don't want to dilute the message. And then it's all it really is, like long term, right? I want to be here for a while and that. So it's about community, and I know that means like providing convenient things for people and helping people with I do with the other things. But at the same time, it's like this isn't that long a video, and like they might well look like case guy might be putting in chapters. Who knows that? Who knows? At some stage he might, and then, and if not, like it's not that long, not that hard to use a fast forward button. And I'm not trying to take the piss. I did make a promise, but I did also make a clip. I just didn't want to publish it because I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what I decide to do. Depends. Right, why am I talking so much crap for anyway? It's thinking out loud. What's post market? 168.25. Doesn't really matter at the minute. It's about Monday open. I'd think about this. Pre market Monday will be much more interesting than post market Friday. Tradespotting, I would like to join the Discord. Where is the invite? Is it a subscriber thing? No, it's still free, but it's limited. I think Rocky limited to 10 people a day until such times as he's got to 10,000 subscribers, at which point there will be some sort of paywall, which he's been forced to put on there because there's people going out of their way to try and take down his community and undermine it because they don't like the way he's doing things. Right, I don't know what their problem is, generally speaking. Right, can't be bothered even try to fathom what it might be. Who cares, right? That way lies madness. Instead, what he's done is he's had to restrict it so that no one could join, and now he's limiting like certain numbers of people join each day because like he doesn't want to make it so that now you can only join if it's paid. He doesn't want to make it like that yet, because there's still loads of people who are big members of the community who would maybe want to join but haven't got round to it yet. So it's still there available if those people want to, and he shares links as and when he can for it. I'm not going to do it though. I think he should charge immediately, and then everyone who gets in will be grandfathered in and won't have to pay for things in future because they are the community and he doesn't want to start then saying, well, you know, you've been here helping me together. It is about the community. You've been building it. Doesn't want to then start taking money off everybody who themselves are, right? The value is the people there. So it's about managing all of that system. Like, I personally would say not everyone should be paying $50 a month every month. He thinks, no, let's do it differently. So we'll see how that goes. But like that's what I think, right? Anyway, whatever. Rocky's far too nice about things. So if you want a link, you'll have to get it off him. Tradespotting, we have a problem. Queen Bee is bullying us. Well, you probably this way it goes, right? You know, you're just gonna have to try and look on the bright side that it's Queen Bee that's doing it. So you know, you're kind of privileged in that sense. Lucky you. You're very lucky. Also, I doubt it. I doubt that she is. She might box your ears, but I wouldn't call it bullying. Stop though, Lipton. You know, you're also a good man. So see, lol, gambles, accepting rules. Everyone, well, cool. I've filled this video up with loads of stuff since I stopped making a clip, and nobody's gonna want to watch this by Alias. Oh wait, what have I read in here on Streamlabs? Stream labels. What does that say? I'm tired of working. Oh, it's Gaston. Yeah, you're right. That was that. Shout out Gaston. Shoot out Luke. Tough day. Feel bad, particularly bad for Luke. Gonna have to try and make that up to you, Luke. Kim Robbins, yeah, I'm out of time out. Haha, just on time. Thanks. Hope you all have a good weekend. Thanks so much for everybody who tuned in this week and all the support and all the help. It's really make a difference to me, and I'll keep on trying to make a difference for you guys. And watch that video about the TD sequential, how this is probably a low and what will happen over the next wee while, right? That video that Rocky put out that I helped him with was a big deal. We made it for a reason. We thought it'd be good to look back on these moments in time. You know, that's when you see these different kind of videos, it's because we think when we're making them, we were compelled to do it because we realize that when you can look back on things and you can see this, we did it, right? This was a moment we helped, right? And so that to make it helpful, it makes many people to hear it and see it as possible. And obviously, like, and not that many of our subscribers have. Jamie, did the police come? No, they didn't. They just did it on the phone. I just did it on the phone, mate. Bastards. Not the police. They were quite nice about things. Ida Holly, next, when I finally got them answered. Ida Holly, next week, I'm down to game, tomorrow education. Next week I'm down to game, tomorrow education. Well, who's going to withstand your coming knowledge studying over the weekend? Tradespotting, can you make a short video before Monday market open so apes don't paper hand? I think the timing and the mood is a bit down, and some good info would be helpful before next week. Yeah, Dragon Slayer, right? I'll do that. That's what I'll do. That's a nice idea. I'll make that video for Monday pre-market open positive about what's going to happen, right? And now I've told you guys, if you were watching along at the time, what's going to happen, right? I told you what's going to happen, right? Looking at very, very high 4 figures, quite possibly 5 figures, and that won't even break like the overall pattern that this pitchfork says we're in. It's not even at the top side of the thing. Already, it's not even at the top side, and by the time it comes out, it might just like you only to reach the halfway line of this pitchfork. Sure, you'll break horizontal levels, but what are you going to do when prices go into blue sky breakout, right? Who's going to give you accurate TA when prices go beyond these prices? Who, right? They can't even give you accurate TA in here, right? They can't, and there's like, I mean, maybe a couple of them can. Sure they can, right? Yeah, cool. I'll make that video Monday, for Monday. I was also trying to make a video over the weekend. I was thinking I was going to make a video, but I don't know if I'm going to be capable of doing it about like the story so far and have me talking about things and all the things I've said and all the different channels I've been on, and then like in the background the chart and having it go, because you know you can do this with the chart, right? Why am I giving away every secret in the world? Why am I doing everything? Anyway, so people that was what I was hoping to do, but I might instead put a video that's less about me and story so far and the community. Instead I do one that helps the community and keep putting shoulder to it, the door. Another donation. Tradespotting, the power of stonk compels you. Thanks for all the TA, Fanny. And not cat, you're a legend. Thanks, mate. Tradespotting, morning tea and TA with Jamie. Tea time with Rocky. No tea, that's fine, I have coffee. Thanks, I'm not a cat. Thanks, Rex Racer, for that huge donation. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for all the support. Thanks. Look at all those messages. Those are 10 nice messages. You just reminded me of a Kipling poem. If you keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. It's 4 stanzas as well, worth a read. I've read it many times. It is a good poem. But it doesn't have a patch on Rabbie Burns. That's the truth. Rabbie Burns. This statue of him in Central Park in New York. I have chapters. Whoa, he's here and he has chapters. Amazing. Well, thank goodness. Case Guy, I was about to call you Tradespotting. I suppose to many people you are. Thanks, Case Guy. You're a legend. Thanks for being such an awesome part of the team. Milord and yourself, Ross the Crest, who have so much respect for your way of going about things, and Milord Harry Buttcheeks. I'm sorry I delayed you so long. I'm sure you're in bed asleep by now. You ought to be. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope all of you have a great weekend. Hope you have a nice time, whatever you're doing, right? Hope you're with friends and family and you have time off. And if you don't, I hope you're not lonely. I hope you realise that, all these times are a blessing. And then at the weekend, there's lots of people getting a break from work. And if that's you, then congratulations. Like, that's a blessing as well. So lots to be happy about. Also, the fact that we've come through this, look what we did when we came through this, when we came through this, when we came through here, when we came through here. This too will pass. And, soon you'll be like, oh, geez, I've got too many people pestering me at weekends, right? So keep the faith. And I'll give you a very good reason to do it on Monday. Touched on it briefly here, but I'll talk about how likely it is to happen on Monday. And then, well, you'll get pretty jacked again. But like the video you really want to be watching is why here, because this is where you buy it, right? You don't want to be up here being like, oh, I wish I'd bought it down here. I wish I had, right? That's what I tried to communicate at the end of close today, because next week you're going to feel like that, right? 2-3 weeks time, you're going to be fucking feeling like that. Two weeks have passed since I did the Bing Bong video. A couple of days have passed since Rocky said, check out the TD sequential with me on his channel. This is support. If you can keep your head when everyone else about you is losing theirs. Just to paraphrase Kipling. Now, how did he go from writing such good poetry to making such crap little cakes? That's what I want to know. So that's a fall from grace. Certainly. In his little pleasant English garden. Well, it's not an English garden, is it? Like, let's be serious. Like, it's all too aggressive, xenophobic, and backwards at the minute. Let people looking inwards and getting angry at each other. God, really not doing good jobs staying clear of controversy in my last few seconds here, am I? Right. Thanks everybody for tuning in and sticking with me. I'll see you next week for more of the same. And like always, likes, comments, they're really appreciated. And Rocky Outcrop, he's nearly got 10,000 subscribers, And when he does, it's going to be a great moment. So if you haven't yet subscribed to Rocky, you'll not only will you find that video, right, the best DD that Rocky and I have done so far important today, like the most important, maybe not the best, but it's hard to judge, but perhaps the most important. Certainly will come to be that way in the future, I think, looking back. I definitely encourage you to check it out. It's on Rocky Outcrop's channel, and if you subscribe, you can get on 10,000. And who knows, if you could be that one in before the 10,000, then maybe you'll also get other benefits. Who knows? But you'll certainly be then have a chance of being on the Discord. Anyway, whatever. It's not a sales thing. It's just like, please do subscribe to Rocky. You'd be doing me a favour. So Rocky Outcrop. That's easy. It's on YouTube. You can't miss it. Lots of love. Thanks everybody. Have a good weekend.